turn me up.
conservative point of view to black issues. His mission, to provide a forum for honest discussions about social issues without the liberal lapdogs shutting down the discussion. Broadcasting from the American Truth Project Studios in beautiful Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. This is Conservative Nation with your host, Jermaine Buxio.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Conservative Nation with me, yo gracious host, Jermaine Buxio. How's everybody doing on this beautiful Saturday evening? Hopefully everybody's doing well here in Minneapolis. Let me tell you something. It's 45 degrees. Criminals are out. I don't know where the police are, but the criminals are out. Absolutely. They're shooting everywhere you look. Crime-filled city of Minneapolis. That's where I'm streaming from. That's where hell is. How's everybody doing? Hopefully everything is good in your neck of the woods. We got a lot to discuss tonight. It is Saturday Night Rumble. Yeah. Saturday Night Rumble. So we going to get it in. It's no holds bar. So the gloves are off. Jermaine done let down his hair. And as you know, I don't have any hair. So I'm about to get raw. Absolutely. So make sure you do your due diligence. I'm going to need your help. I'm going to need it badly. I am. Liberal left, technocrats have made it very feasible for companies and platforms to try to get rid of what we call truth. We never had fact checkers before until the truth started coming out. And since then, it's been hell for truth tellers. People who ain't scared of the cabal, people who ain't linked arm in arm with the Luciferians. So I need your help. It's very simple. It's something that is very easy to do. Hitting a button, sharing. I mean, my goodness gracious. and hitting a like button. I mean, those two things should be the first thing you do when you first enter this broadcast. Help a brother out. I ain't asking for much. So please, oh please, do your due diligence, and if you can, if you find it in your heart, throw something in the tip jar. Help your boy out. Help me keep streaming and putting out the content you guys love and deserve. The content you guys come here almost every day for. Absolutely. First one up, ladies and gentlemen. First one up. Saturday Night Rumble. First one up. I want to go ahead and speak to you guys about family. As you guys know, from time to time, we speak about family on this broadcast. We like to speak about the real deal. Things that people are going through, not the fluff, right? And we mostly deal with family court issues, right? Absolutely. Everybody deals with them. Everybody. And it seems like most of the time men are on the bad receiving end. I want to go ahead here, ladies and gentlemen, and show you guys this article coming from The Sun. And it deals with child support. An individual by the name of Black China. Let me go ahead and transition. Black China. They claim she's a model. I don't know where she's modeling at, but apparently she's a model. And she went out with two famous guys. Rob Kardashian, who is what they call these folks, reality star, and the other one being a rapper by the name of Tyga. Yeah, just like the tiger that's in the wild. Absolutely. Khloe Kardashian shaves brother X, Rob Black China, after he slams baby mama and claims he gives her no child support. This has been a big entertainment deal for the past week. Black China on Twitter, she posted yesterday, I had to give up 3 of my cars. My reasons, moral beliefs, and being a single mother. No support. Single, no support, child support. So she put this out here like a lot of baby mamas do, right? But she got caught up. She got caught up. I want to go ahead and run this clip. When I come back, I want to speak about it. Black China says she does not get child support. But it's revealed she only gets the children twice a week. It is revealed that the children stay with the fathers. The fathers pay close to $40,000 a year for schooling, take care of all medical. But yet, she's crying about child support. Child support right now has turned into hoe support. You have a child with a woman, she's trying to collect. Not all, but gosh darn it, there's a whole bunch. Take a look. Make sure you share.
Rob Kardashian and Tyga clap back at Blac Chyna after she claims she gets zero child support from them.
It doesn't stop
On Wednesday, the model, who has children with both Rob and Tyga, fired off a series of tweets suggesting she doesn't get any help financially when it comes to raising her kids. Of course, she shares a 9-year-old son, King, with the rapper, and 5-year-old daughter, Dream, with the reality star.
Your tomato?
Tomato. Yes.
Tomato.
Tomato.
No, tomato.
China claims, quote, "Yesterday I had to give up 3 of my cars. My reasons, my morals, beliefs, being a single mother, no support. I'm a mama. Single, no support, child support." That tweet was reposted to a popular Instagram account where both Tyga and Rob gave their 2 cents. In simple terms, they say they're already doing their parts as dads. Rob writes, quote, "I pay $37K a year for my daughter's school. I handle every single medical expense. I pay for all her extracurricular activities. I have my daughter from Tuesday to Saturday. Why would I pay child support? LOL." And Tyga, he echoed all that, commenting, "I pay $40K a year for my son's school, and he lives with me Monday through Saturday. Why would I pay child support? LOL." And
Why?
get this, Tyga followed up by asking Rob a question. "How you pay $3K less? Let me know the plug," with a laughing emoji. Of course, back in 2016, the 35-year-old
and I want to stop it right here. So I want to stop it right here. So you get the drift right here, right? You get the drift. She want whore support. And a lot of these women in this new age, I would say under 35, over 50% of them have this type of behavior where they believe that just because you had a baby with them, you have to pay them. It's the most absurd thing in the world. I want folks to understand that. The most absurd thing in the world. These gentlemen pay for every damn thing. You get the babies twice in a week, Saturday and Sunday, and yet you're crying because you get no child support. See, this single mama stuff that's been going on has been really rotting the brains of a lot of these young women out here. It's rotted their brain. It makes no sense at all. It seems like women gravitate towards the single mama label because they know it brings them victim status. Women know this. Right? As a single mom, they throw it up there. It's like a war cry. I'm a single mom. It's like a war cry. As soon as you hear it, you hear the entitlement in their voice. They're entitled to your cash. Makes no sense. No sense in the world. As a matter of fact, she should be paying these guys. I want folks to understand. She should be paying these guys. But yet, they're not asking for it. And this comes straight back down to the point where the government is always reaping what we call family resources. That's what they're reaping right now. Family court has become what we call wealth distribution centers. That's it. That's what a family court is there for. It's wealth distribution center, and they're there to stick their hands in it and take 66 cents on each eligible child support dollar. It's probably higher now. I want the women to understand. They don't care about your children. Let alone giving the child to the men. The men don't chase the women for child support. Men are not going to chase women for child support. I want the women to understand that. They won't. But yet on the converse, a woman will. That's why women have to understand when you're sitting there crying, speaking about child support, you're struggling. You should give up the child to the person who can afford the child. Makes no sense to give it to a parent who can't even support themselves, and then you rip money at a tune, a lot of times over 50%, 60% by federal law from the other person to give it to this person. Makes no sense. But once more again, because conservatives, Republicans don't take a strong hold on this. They don't speak about how the family court is ripping men out of children's lives, destroying families, right? They claim to care about family, but they never, I don't see them stepping up for family. They step up when it comes to the unborn baby. That's it. Well, hey, it's wrong to kill unborn babies, but when the baby is here, you don't care about it. So there's an issue I always have with conservatives because they're one-sided when it comes to, life. They care about, they claim to care about the importance of life, but it only seems to, you only care about it by conception. That's it. Hey, no abortion. When the child is here, the child's suffering. When the child is here, I want you to understand the child is suffering because they're put into this crazy social system that conservatives refuse to speak about. So all I'm saying here is that people have to start understanding what the culture is right now. Men out there, you have to start understanding what the culture is right now. A lot of women will look at you and come after you. They're vultures. A lot of the men out there ain't worth nothing, ladies. I want you to understand that too. But we have to be honest on both sides of the coin here. We have to. So, just want to point it out there. Just want to point it out. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to my guy, Jerome Glass, straight out from Princeton. Says, oh yeah, he still has that invitation extended for Second Amendment Saturday, Sunday. Absolutely. We have to do that. We have to. I've been hella busy. But we have to set that up. You should message me. I might have given you my number. I got a new one. So message me on jermaine.batsu@gmail.com. And he challenges 10 more people to a $10 challenge on PayPal. Shout out to Jerome Glass, brother from another mother. Shout out to you. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Next one up, I want to go ahead and speak to you guys about a Baltimore school that's getting a lot of attention. 41% of the students there at that school, let me tell you, earn below a 1.0 GPA. Yeah, 41%. I want you guys 41%. Yeah. Have less than a 1.0 GPA. What is that, like a Z plus? You get what I'm saying? It's crazy. I want to go ahead and transition. Coming from the Daily Signal. Fed up. These parents sue Baltimore public schools, ladies and gentlemen. They are suing because of the poor education. This is what the parents are saying. I want to go ahead and run this clip here that goes along with this article. And when it comes back, I want to speak about it. Is it right, in a sense, to blame the school for 41% of the students having below a 1.0 GPA? Is it right for the parents to sue? I want you to keep that in the back of your mind. And I want you to keep something right on your tongue. It's called personal responsibility. I want you to keep those two words right on your tongue there. All right? Let's take a look at this when it come back. Let's speak about it. Openly, honestly. Here we go.
Baltimore City Schools reaches an alarming low in student performance.
As Project Baltimore's Chris Papps has learned, nearly half of high school students in Baltimore City this year earned a grade point average below a 1.
They take.
When Giovanni Patterson ran for Baltimore City Council president last year,
Yet, despite the amount of money they get, we don't see much change.
he ran on a platform that included accountability and education.
Our schools outspend 97% of other major school districts.
And when Project Baltimore showed him how Baltimore City students have been doing this year,
This is terrible.
here is how he reacted.
This is just further perpetuating the cycle of poverty, blight, despair.
This chart was assembled by Baltimore City Schools and obtained by Project Baltimore. It shows the average GPA for every high school grade in the city, freshman through senior. In the first 3 quarters of this past school year, according to the chart, 41% of all Baltimore City high school students earned below a 1.0 grade point average. In other words, nearly half of the roughly 20,600 public high school students in Baltimore earned less than a D average.
It's heartbreaking. If almost half of our kids are failing, what options do they have after high school? This is really disheartening. And it's sad to see this, man.
On the other end of this chart, 21% of city high school students earned a GPA of 3.0 or better, a B average. About half as many who earned below a D. We can also see the district lost more than 700 high school students during the first 3 quarters of this year. In January, City School CEO Dr. Sonia Santelises first sounded the alarm, saying the course failure rate for students had nearly doubled during the COVID shutdowns. A few months later, in May, North Avenue announced students would not be held back for failing classes. This most recent GPA data could show us why North Avenue made that decision. During the second quarter of the 2019-2020 school year, just before COVID hit, 24% of high school students had a GPA below 1. Now, it's 41%. City schools declined an interview, but told us in a statement the COVID-19 pandemic created significant disruptions to student learning. Starting this summer and beyond, City Schools is providing students with a variety of opportunities to acquire the unfinished learning they lost.
It's not gone. It's not going anywhere.
City Council President Nick Mosby, who defeated Patterson in the election, is reportedly under investigation by the U.S. Department of Justice concerning campaign finances, business, and tax records.
Of course.
Project Baltimore emailed and called Mosby's
Of course,
office,
being in Baltimore,
requesting an interview to discuss these numbers concerning student GPAs. We never heard back.
These people don't care, man. It's they come from the same environment. You know, Nick Mosby is a product of Baltimore City Schools. Brandon Scott's a product of Baltimore City Schools, and they see what's going on. But then when you bring this to them, they don't care. They don't care at all. You have to raise the standard. Everyone should be speaking out about this.
Project Baltimore reached out to the other school systems in our area requesting their GPA data. We were told by all of them that it's not readily available. I'm Chris Papst, and this is Project Baltimore.
Bow. Project Baltimore. There you go. Project Baltimore. Parents want to sue. Let me say this here. Does the school have, some sort of responsibility in the matter? Yeah, they do. They have a little bit of responsibility. A little bit. Not much, but a little bit. Do the parents have responsibility in this manner? Absolutely. Hell yeah. They have over 50%. Yeah, the parents. How about the student themselves? Are they to blame? Hell yes. Yup, they are to blame. One thing I want to tell folks, I don't care how old you are, your choices in life dictate how well you succeed. Your choices. So if a student is in school and they're effing off, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they know better, guess what is on that student? You can't sit here and blame a teacher because they're not motivated enough, right? They're not, how can I say, more appealing to the students enough. You cannot blame the teacher for that. You can't. A person is as motivated as they want to be. Some people know how to motivate themselves. Some people, need a jump start. But you cannot blame a teacher, a guru, or anybody because a person is not motivated. That's why I want to get, we have to get a lot of these nanny female teachers out of the classroom, because females, in a sense, give a lot of excuses when men won't give excuses, because it's the compassion in them. It's the nature that a woman has. She'll give an excuse for a student faster than a male would. These students here are failing because of themselves and their parents. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. It's themselves and the parents. And it's dumb to sit there and go and sue a school because little Johnny can't do 2 + 2. That's on you. There's so many parents nowadays who aren't invested in their children's school. They go and dump their children off at school and say, you know what? Wash their hands of the child. And that's not parenting at all. And the reason why that is nowadays is because of this single mama nature. Baltimore is a city filled with low-income Section 8 rats. Yes, low-income Section 8 rats. That's what Baltimore is filled with. If somebody did a gosh darn poll on how many single mamas and bastard children are in Baltimore, you would see, it will blow your mind. You go ahead and look at the students that are failing. I guarantee you damn near 100% of them are coming from single mamas. Single mamas who are trying to pass off the blame because they don't want to be called out on their parenting. And one thing I do know about women, 100%, they don't like to be called out on their parenting. I've never heard a woman say, I was a shitty mom. Never. Women don't apologize. Most of them don't. I've never heard a woman say, you know what? I was a shitty mom. I've heard fathers say this daily. I wasn't a good father. I wasn't there. But a woman will go to her grave to make sure that nobody looks at her as a shitty mom. And let me tell you something. There's a whole bunch of shitty moms in Baltimore who ain't doing what they're supposed to be doing. So I want folks to understand that. Stop blaming the schools. Stop blaming the cat, the dog, the paint on the wall. Stop it. Stop it. It's the children and their parents. Those are the two people, the two folks everybody and their mama should be blaming. They should. If the students are failing, it's because of the parents' fault. If the students are failing, it's because of the students' fault. Do you think that me growing up, I could sit there and fail and then say, you know what, Daddy, I wasn't, the teacher ain't motivated me enough. I came from an African home. You can't pull that shit. You can't sit there and blame a teacher, blame a dog, blame a cat because you couldn't somehow do 2 + 2. I couldn't do that. But in this day and age, if you have a single mama, she will cape for you. Just like the ones who are caping out there for their sons who are doing the wrong thing. Shot and killed by police. They up there crying and blaming the police because their bastard son got shot and killed instead of blaming their son's actions. This is the type of BS we get when we have this single mama epidemic. I'm just pointing out there. It's ridiculous in a sense. It is. Yeah. Shout out to John Bartlett. There's a lot of shitty parents out there. Absolutely. There's a whole bunch of shitty parents. Everywhere you look, there's a shitty parent, let me tell ya. So we have to tell it like it is. We have to. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share. These folks were blaming on COVID. COVID, the reason why, little Jamar Quavius can't do 2 + 2. These people are retarded. They are. Next one up, I want to go ahead, and before that, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to somebody who just donated here. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to my guy, Robert Marvin. Robert Marvin donated, took our $10 challenge. Says, one up, Jerome. Shout out to you. Absolutely. Shout out to Robert Marvin. Took Jerome Glasses $10 challenge on PayPal. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. There's probably some shitty parents out there who need to hear this. They're getting ready to blame somebody because they couldn't raise their children correctly. I want you guys to understand. There's a shitty parent everywhere you look. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. Next one up. This one is just a gross segment here. A 27-year-old Florida man tackled by police after playing with himself in front of young girls at a Miami Starbucks. This woman was in line at Starbucks, and she sees a guy inside a Starbucks, no shoes on, shirt, shorts, his hands inside of his shorts, masturbating and looking at people. Nobody says anything until this woman says something. I want folks to understand how crazy and evil our world is, where you can get raped on a train and people watch, where you can be at Walmart and somebody try to rape ya and nobody do nothing. We live in a beta world. All the alphas are gone. Probably died with my daddy. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. Here we go. 27-year-old Florida male. Pervert extraordinaire. Here we go.
When nobody, not even the workers at Starbucks, want to say anything to this pedo who is touching himself to young girls. So you stand up and do something about it.
Like, what are you fucking doing?
Mason? You okay?
On your belly.
You sick motherfucker. Get on your stomach.
On your belly.
Get on your fucking stomach.
On your belly. Get on your stomach. Get on your stomach. Get on your stomach.
You want to get another one in your ass? Turn the fuck
Get on
around.
your stomach.
Get his ass. Get his ass.
Get on your stomach. Whoa.
Get his ass.
Stop. No, don't.
Let's go. You got it. You got it. Sit the fuck down. Quit your bullshit.
315. Wait.
You don't do that shit in public, motherfucker.
Get on your fucking belly right now.
You sick fuck.
Get on your belly right now. Stop.
Get the fuck down.
Stop, please.
Shout out to Melinda. Says, Jermaine, where do you get these videos? I'm telling you, I'm a master. Ain't that crazy? The man is at Starbucks, hands in his shorts, ladies and gentlemen. Ain't that crazy? Nobody says a damn thing to him. It took this woman to say something. Imagine you walk in, the guy just beating off in his shorts right there. He either got to be high or cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. One of the two. And then they hitting him with the taser. One thing that I believe I think he's high is because the taser wasn't really phasing this guy. They hitting him with the taser. Usually if you get hit with a taser, it burns so bad that you're willing to comply. But this guy getting hit with taser right and left, he ain't trying to comply. Lets me know that the man probably high as a kite. We got some more folks in here. I want to play it again. Make sure you share.
When nobody, not even the workers at Starbucks, want to say anything to this pedo who is touching himself to young girls. So you stand up and do something about it.
Like, what are you fucking doing?
Mason?
You okay?
On your belly.
You sick motherfucker. Get on your stomach.
On your belly.
Get on your fucking stomach.
On your belly. Get on your stomach. Get on your stomach. Get on your stomach.
You want to get another one in your ass? Turn the fuck
Get on
around.
your stomach.
Get his ass. Get his ass.
Get on your stomach. Whoa, don't
Get his ass.
No, stop. No, don't. No, don't.
Let's go. You got it. You got it. Sit the fuck down. Quit your bullshit.
315. Wait.
You don't do that shit in public, motherfucker.
Get on your fucking belly right now.
You sick fuck.
Get on your belly right now. Stop.
Get the fuck down.
Stop, please.
Man, that guy deserve an ass whooping. He really do. That guy deserve an ass whooping, ladies and gentlemen. We have some sick people in this world. We do. What would possess a man to walk into a public establishment like that and do such a thing like this? You have to be sick in the mind. You have to. I believe the man is high off something. That is my that is my inclination, just because of how he was acting when he got tased. Shout out to Mookie Martinez. Is he related to Tubin? Yeah, maybe that's Jeffrey Tubin cousin. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. He probably is. Yup. Maybe Jeffrey Tubin and him go to the masturbation Olympics. See which one can bust it off faster. I'm a bad man, I know, right? Who knows? I don't know. But one thing I do know, they some sick MFs. I can tell you that. I can tell you that. Angel Dust, PCP, yeah. That could probably be something that he's on. He could also be on meth. A lot of people who are on meth, they get like that too. When I was working as a correctional counselor, I had a lot of clients that were ex-meth heads. They said that they used to hit meth and they used to, the sexual urge would be so much. I had one client who literally told me that he would hit meth and have like a 3-day sexathon. Literally, he would hit the meth and then he would have girls lined up to have sex for 72 hours. I was like, that's absolutely outrageous. So I know that from me speaking with clients who were into meth, days being up doing meth can have you doing stuff like that. Don't believe me? Go speak to somebody who's done meth before. They'll let you know. They hit it, all of a sudden their sexual organ, everything on fire. They're ready to screw like some rabbits. Absolutely. Shout out to Leanne Glasses. You're hilarious, Jermaine. Thank you. Jerome Glasses, that's white privilege. He's still alive. Yeah, that is white privilege though, ain't it? Man, I'm telling you, the world is crazy. So I just wanted to show you guys that. That is a viral TikTok video that is taken off. A lot of people are speaking about that. And let me tell you something. A lot of people are sharing it. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to somebody who just donated here. I want to give a shout out to John Bartley. John Bartley took the $10 challenge on Cash App. Shout out to John Bartley, brother from another mother. Absolutely. Shout out to John Bartley, helping a brother pay some bills. Ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button. Make sure you do share. help us out. Help us continue to push the good word. Next one up. I want to go ahead and speak to you guys. I want to speak to you guys about Will Smith. We've been speaking about that fool for the last week. I know some of y'all say, man, I don't want to speak about Will Smith. I'm tired of hearing about black folks. Me and you both. Let me tell you. Will Smith, ladies and gentlemen, resigns from the Academy of, what is it called? Academy of Awards. Apparently, instead of him to deal with the consequences of his actions, he decides to resign. I want to go ahead and run this, and I would like to speak about it. Make sure you do share. Here we go.
Breaking news, days after he slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars, Will Smith resigns from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. Thank you for joining us. You're watching Eyewitness News at 4 live on ABC 7, Hulu Live, and wherever you stream. I'm Ellen Leyva.
I'm Mark Brown, in for David Ono, and we begin with that breaking announcement from Will Smith just moments ago.
Smith announcing that he will resign from the Academy after that shocking slap during the Oscars. And our George Pinocchio joins us now with details breaking in just the last 10 minutes.
Oh, I know. I was surprised to hear this. The story continues to get different by the minute, but rather than face possible expulsion or suspension, Will Smith has reportedly instead resigned from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. Now, in a statement, Variety reports, he says the list of people he hurt is long, and he betrayed the trust of the Academy and deprived other nominees and winners their opportunity to celebrate. Now, this all comes as we're heading from we're hearing from Oscar producer Will Packer. He says he was in the room where it happened, and in an exclusive interview with ABC's TJ Holmes earlier today on Good Morning America, Packer tries to sort this situation out. By now, we've seen and heard more than once Will Smith slap Chris Rock's face in front of millions of viewers at the Oscars over a joke about Smith's wife. Then, not that long after, we all heard this. Will Smith! Then came a standing ovation for Smith's Best Actor win. Oscar producer Will Packer was inside the Dolby Theater with a room full of people who work in the industry.
Love will make you do crazy things.
I think that the people in that room who stood up for somebody who they knew, right? Who was a peer, who was a friend, who was a brother, who has a 3 decades plus long career of being the opposite of what we saw in that moment. I think these people saw the person that they know and were hoping that
and I want to stop it right here. So there you go. You got so many people who are quote unquote Will Smith analysis telling you how Will Smith felt, how he was dealing with all sorts of other BS in his life. All it comes down to is his behavior and actions. And this, really boils down to what a man is. It really does. The people who are, and I've figured out the people who are defending his actions are mostly women with bad behavior. Usually women with bad behavior, they defend stuff like this because they like that. Women love to see a man stand up for their bullshit. They absolutely do. And we call those guys simps and beta males. See, what will happen, and I want folks to understand, right? We call that white knighting as well, where a woman is on your arm, your girlfriend, your wife, whoever, is doing something that is not good, right? She's doing something that is bad behavior. And instead of you as a male to correct that bad behavior, right, to lead, what you do is you capitulate to the bad behavior. And then you go ahead and you assault somebody else because of that bad behavior. Right? You point the blame at somebody else because of the bad behavior. You never correct her. You correct everybody else except for her. These are beta males, and I want the women to understand that. These are what you call simps, and a lot of women look for guys who are like this. Guys who will stand up for her bad behavior. She's at a restaurant. She doesn't like the food. She spits out the food. She slaps the waiter, right? The waiter gets offended and says something to the woman. You know what happens next, ladies and gentlemen? The white knight, the simp, steps up, and instead of him to say, hey, sweetheart, spitting out your food and slapping that waiter, that's bad. You shouldn't do that, sweetheart. Instead of him to do that, right, he is going ahead and going after the waiter for what he said to his girlfriend or wife instead of correcting the bad behavior. These are what we call simps and beta males. They're everywhere you look. And there's a whole bunch of women who love them. So the women who are caping for Will Smith, he was standing up for his wife, right? Those women who are doing that are the women with bad behavior. Because in their heart, they want a guy to step up when they're doing something wrong. When they go ahead and slap a waiter, when they go ahead and, run off with the mouth and somebody recorrects them. One action, believe it or not, can erase years of a good deed. I want folks to understand that. Men understand this. That's why men deal with actions and consequences. There's no emotion in it. We know that if you act and behave this way, there's a certain consequence for it. So when men seen this, we already knew it was a bad deal. Like, we knew that in the real world, he should have got his ass whooped, but he didn't. I have a video here that I want to play for you guys. Tony Rock, Chris Rock's brother, is a comedian. He recently did a show. I believe it was in, I want to say North Carolina. He was in Raleigh, North Carolina, where he did a show. And he spoke about the Chris Rock incident, his brother. I want you guys to take a look at what he says. When I come back, I want to speak about this. Make sure you guys share. Here we go.
Raleigh, what up? Raleigh, what up? Oh, we on pot for the rest of the year. Oh, we on pot for the rest of the year. Let's set some ground rules right now, y'all. Let's set some ground rules. If I say anything tonight, anybody got a fucking problem with? You got one motherfucking option what you can do about it. Absolutely nothing. Because if you think you're going to walk up on this stage, this ain't the motherfucking Oscars. And if you walk your ass up here, you ain't nominated for shit but these motherfucking hands. Oh, we on Pac the rest of the year, nigga. Every time you see me do a show, Pac. I ain't want to start the show like that. You gonna hit my motherfucking brother? Cause your bitch gave you a side eye? Oh, it's a lot of rock brothers. Y'all ain't know it's a lot of rock brothers. It's 10 of us, motherfucker. You about to see all the rock brothers. You gonna be like, I didn't even know that nigga was a rock brother. That nigga a rock brother? That's a rock brother? I ain't gonna start the show like that, but I just wanna let y'all know that shit ain't gonna ride. That shit ain't gonna ride, nigga. I don't got a lot of shit to lose, nigga. Some more gonna have me on the tour regardless. Y'all might never see me on TV again, but... Now with that said, Raleigh, how y'all doing? How y'all doing, Raleigh? Y'all good? You got one motherfucking option what you can do about it. Absolutely nothing. Because if you think you're gonna walk up on this stage, this ain't the motherfucking Oscars.
Let me stop it. So there you go. Chris Rock's brother, Tony Rock, giving some choice words to Will Smith and everybody out there. Yeah, Cynthia Williams said, Pac for the rest of the year. Yeah, Thug Life. Yeah, Chris Rock got 10 brothers. Chris Rock come from a big family. I bet they all wanted to whoop Will Smith ass. Every single one of them. That's why I said, like, when people were saying this is fake, they don't know black culture. And it ain't fake. You just can't run up and smack a grown man like that, especially a grown black man. That's an ass whooping. He lucky he didn't get an ass whooping right then and there. Because a lot of other people would have whooped his ass. Tommy Davidson had a big interview the other day. It's over 1 million hits. It was put on Fox. Tommy Davidson said that he had a run-in with Will Smith before. He was doing a scene with Jada Pinkett Smith in a movie, and the director said that it was okay for him to kiss Jada Pinkett Smith in the scene, right? It was unscripted. He gave her a kiss in the scene. When he got back to his bus, right, this little tour bus that they're on, where they, change and all sorts of stuff in, Will Smith went onto his tour bus, confronted him about kissing Jada Pinkett Smith, wanted to fight him, literally. Tommy Davidson said that he went out and he was trying to go outside and fight Will Smith, but Jada Pinkett Smith stepped in and he said, stop the ass whooping from occurring. So this behavior that Will Smith is doing, apparently he's known for it. He's known for slapping folks and getting upset like a beta male. And sometimes I believe when you have that much money and you're walking around and doing things like that, you don't live in the real world. Right? You can go and slap these people and then you have your security around you. Right? So you live in a bubble. But in a real world, you walk around slapping folks, you're going to get killed, you're going to get your ass whooped. And one good ass whooping that Will Smith should have got would have stopped all this slapping. Probably would have brought him back to reality. Probably would have brought him back to reality. One good ass whooping. That's what I was telling my friend the other night. I said, give your kid an ass whooping. Bring him back to reality. Ass whoopings are healthy. Absolutely. So I just wanted to go ahead and point this out here. This situation is still going on. I think it won't end until, Will Smith get a little bit of an ass whooping. Will Smith should just say, go up to Chris Rock. Hey, go ahead and slap me back. Whoop my ass. Do something. I'm telling you. That's what it is. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you share. Shout out to Cynthia Williams, says, I saw that interview. Yeah, wasn't it a crazy interview? It was. And then there's another video out there that is gaining a whole bunch of views. It was done by Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels did basically a commentary on what happened. And he read basically a note that Willow Smith wrote to Tupac. Willow Smith is what is it called? Will Smith, daughter, and Jada Pinkett's daughter that they have together. She wrote a letter to Tupac saying that she wants Tupac to come back so that her mama can be happy. This is what Will Smith's daughter wrote when she was a young girl. It's well known. Even Jada Pinkett Smith put out the note herself. This is how dumb and retarded she is. So the man that you love, you tricked your daughter to sit there and write a note to him. This is the type of stuff that Will Smith is dealing with. Crazy. So, yeah, that's what it is. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Help a brother out. Please, oh, please help a brother out. All right? I'm going to need your help. Definitely going to need your help. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to my guy, John Lennon. John Lennon donated, took our challenge on PayPal. Our $10 challenge says, hope it helps. Shout out to you. Absolutely. That's 4 for our challenge so far. Shout out to you. Absolutely. Shout out to you. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Shout out to John Lennon once more. Again, he is watching on YouTube with the rest of the crowd. Shout out to y'all. Moving forward. Let me go ahead and. Woo! The EU is on the cusp right now of getting rid of the dollar. This should be, how can I say, this should be number one news in the whole wide world. That the dollar, the American dollar, is not going to be the standard anymore. This is not hyperbole. This is not conjecture. This is reality. There will be a new digital currency. The Fed has already announced it. They will be shifting towards that. They want the shift to be by 2025. In this quote unquote great reset. Right? There's a great reset going on. And the reason why, once more again, for this great reset, for people who don't know, is because the world leaders, the oligarchs, the people who got all the cashola, they have been robbing the pensions of people for decades. Robbing countries' wealth for decades. A lot of our entitlement programs right now are insolvent. They just run on fiat money, printing it and running it. I want folks to understand that. So instead of them to deal with the consequences, instead of people to see how these politicians are ruining our country, they've concocted a scheme to hide their dirty laundry. And it's called the Great Reset. You hear these European people speaking, they sound like gosh darn terrorists. They sound like gosh darn super villains, especially a guy by the name of Klaus Schwab and Dr. Zelenko. They sound like mad scientists. I don't make this stuff up. I want you guys to take a look at this video here, and when it come back, I want to speak about it. Nobody's speaking about this, but it's serious. It really is. Here we go.
What underpins a world order is always the financial system. I was very privileged. My father was an advisor to Nixon when they came off the gold standard in '71, and so I was brought up with a kind of inside view of how very important the financial structure is to absolutely everything else. And what we're seeing in the world today, I think, is we are on the brink of a dramatic change where we are about to, and I'll say this boldly, we're about to abandon the traditional system of money and accounting and introduce a new one. And the new one, the new accounting, is what we call blockchain. It means digital. It means having a almost perfect record of every single transaction that happens in the economy, which will give us far greater clarity over what's going on. It also raises huge dangers in terms of the balance of power between states and citizens. In my opinion, we're going to need a digital constitution of human rights if we're going to have digital money. But also, this new money will be sovereign in nature. Most people think that digital money is crypto and private, but what I see are superpowers introducing digital currency. The Chinese were the first. The US is on the brink, I think, of moving in the same direction. The Europeans have committed to that as well. And the question is, will that new system of digital money and digital accounting accommodate the competing needs of the citizens of all these locations so that every human being has a chance to have a better life? Because that's the only measure of whether a world order really serves.
There you go. So you hear that. So that's not conjecture. That ain't, any speculation. That's what's happening right now. The end of the dollar. They're going to be shifted into digital currency with the yen being number one. China being number one. I want people to understand that. Every transaction that you make will be accounted for. She says it brings great danger and, quote unquote, great freedom. The danger is that the government can peep into everything that you're doing. If they don't like, let's say, certain folks and their activities, quote unquote, rallies, right? Protests, they could go ahead and, shut down the money. It's very dangerous. It goes into this one world order where everything you do is tracked. Right? Every single stinking thing that you do is tracked. You're already tracked right now by something called a cell phone. Right here. Cell phone. You're already tracked. They're already listening to your conversations. They can look into your text messages. So they're already doing this. This is just more sophisticated. And for you to get access to this digital cash, you're going to have to accept a lot of these type of dangers. So I want people to understand it's going to get very serious here soon. It is. Klaus Schwab, the rest of these idiots, they're predicting a cyber attack. They predicted the COVID-19 scamdemic. Right? They predicted that. It came right through. They're predicting a cyber attack. Shut down world banks and everything. And guess what? This digital currency and ID and everything they got, right? Global ID and all this crap. That's their solution. Yeah, so when the cyber attack happens, right? When you can't get any money out the bank, you go to the bank, right? And then they're like, we don't even know how much money you got in your bank. We can't even look into our systems. It's all shut down. You know how crazy the world is. I want folks to imagine that. Imagine you wake up one day, right? Imagine you wake up tomorrow. There's been a cyber attack. More than half the country don't got power. Right? You go to the bank. There's people guarding the bank. You're saying, hey, my children need something to eat. I got my card right here. I got like 20,000 in that bank. And you know what they tell you? They say, hey, sir, you take your funky ass back home. We don't know how much you have. You could be lying. Take your funky ass back home. You go to the supermarket. The supermarket got guards there. Right? Like you're in Ghana, West Africa. They got AKs. The guards got AKs. Right? Even the police officers got AKs. They're sitting there like this. And then you try to walk inside the grocery store. They ask you if you got any cashola. Right? Because of the cyber attack. You say, no, I ain't got no cash. My son needs some milk. They tell you to turn your ass around and take your funky ass home. This is the world that is coming. You thought the scamdemic was something. And ain't nothing on a cyber attack. I want you to understand that, ladies and gentlemen. And ain't squat against this cyber attack that they claim will happen. And if it happens, who knows? Maybe they blame Russia. Won't that be a good way to bring it in? Hey, they're fighting in Ukraine, and Russia doesn't like us because of all the sanctions. So you know what? They did a cyber attack on us. So we have to reconfigure what we're going to do now as a nation, and we're going to move to digital currency. Ain't the Ukraine storm right now and what Biden is doing, ain't that a perfect storm? A perfect segue to a cyber attack? I'm just saying. Maybe I think too much. Sometimes I do. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys do me a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Biden taps into the U.S. oil reserve to ease the gas prices in this country. We didn't think he was going to do it. Apparently, he's doing it. He wants to drain 1/3 of our oil reserve. Take a look at this. Make sure you share.
Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us on this Thursday night. Well, tonight, in an extraordinary move to help Americans combating rising gas prices, President Biden is going to drain roughly 1/3 of the oil reserve. That is the largest release ever. And this is only the 4th time this measure has been taken. It happened during the Gulf War, after Hurricane Katrina, and the 2011 Libyan civil war. President Biden will tap into 1 million barrels a day, but that's only a drop in the bucket when it comes to domestic oil consumption. The U.S. currently uses around 20 million barrels a day. And Americans aren't only seeing sticker shock at the gas station. The Commerce Department today said people are also paying sharply higher prices for food and other necessities. Inflation is rising at the fastest rate in 40 years. The average price of gas in the U.S. now stands at $4.23 a gallon. That's up 47% from just a year ago. And on Wall Street today, stocks tumbled to the close, with all 3 major indexes falling more than 1.5% on the day. Well, clearly we have a lot of news to get to tonight, and we'll begin with CBS's Errol Barnett at a gas station in Bethesda, Maryland. Good evening, Errol.
Good evening, Nora. Tonight, President Biden is offering gas customers like the ones you see behind me a wartime bridge, as he describes it, to get through the fuel-intensive demands of the summer until U.S. production picks up this fall. But with so much at play on the global energy market, there's just no guarantee what you pay to fill up will come down.
I say enough.
Tonight, President Biden on an unprecedented effort to ease the financial squeeze for fuel, placing the blame for recent jumps in global energy prices squarely on Russia's war in Ukraine.
Our prices are rising because of Putin's action. There isn't enough supply. And the bottom line is, if we want lower gas prices, we need to have more oil supply right now.
Mr. Biden announcing several new efforts, including accessing 1/3 of the nation's strategic petroleum reserve until October.
I would call it the mother of all strategic petroleum releases.
Oil analyst Tom Closer welcomes the news, citing record prices not only for consumer gas, but for byproducts like jet fuel and diesel, impacting all corners of the economy, contributing to inflation. How long do you think it will take between this announcement and Americans seeing the result at the pump?
I think we get a little bit of relief here in April and May.
Meanwhile, drivers in Maryland and Georgia are enjoying a so-called holiday from state gas taxes.
I'm glad it's going down a little bit now.
Seems to be making an improvement.
With Connecticut drivers joining Friday, and more than a dozen other states debating this or offering reductions.
We can see an uptick.
Patrick DeHaan of the fuel data website Gas Buddy measured consumption jumps as a result of tax holidays and says that's a warning.
Sheltering Americans from the consequences of high price could induce more gasoline consumption, and it could cause gas prices to go up more dramatically.
Experts also explained to CBS News that at this time of year, stations switch over to a summer blend of gasoline, which costs more to produce, likely meaning more of this.
I used to go where I wanted to go, now I go where I have to go.
Now, one thing to keep in mind is that tax rebates, if they are passed by states like California, typically come out of any tax refund you would otherwise receive. And here in Maryland, it's actually the station owners who get the tax holiday, with the state expecting those savings to be passed along to customers. So, Nora, there's just no easy fix to what continues to be an expensive problem.
Man,
well said,
oh
Errol
man.
Barnett. Thank you so much.
Did you hear that? So if they do a tax rebate, right? It will come out of your taxes that you get at the end of the year. I mean, my goodness gracious. Talk about getting raped. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Pookie Martinez. I didn't see that you donated on our Rumble. Producer, let me know. Pookie Martinez says, Negroes don't do child support, let alone any deadbeat poo-poo. The government do. $5. Shout out to Pookie Martinez. Absolutely. Shout out. So what they're saying in a sense is that with this oil being drained in this in our oil reserve here, if it lowers the gas price, they say that could boost up oil consumption. And at the end of the day, I mean, it could rise and get even worse. This is a terrible situation right now. It really is. Instead of Biden sitting there trying to work out a deal and drain our oil reserve in the meantime, he needs to start doing what is needed, being pragmatic. You get what I'm saying? Doing what works. Right? I know that's hard for a lot of liberals out there. They got a lot of cockamamie schemes. But they need to do what works. We got the Keystone XL pipeline. You open that sucker up. All these federal lands that these environmentalists are running their mouth about. Kick them fools to Pakistan. Open up those lands. Drill, baby, drill. Let them frack the hell out of there. We need to do what works so that we can, ladies and gentlemen, maintain our way of living. Democrats are not into maintaining our way of living. Since Joe Biden took office, he has diminished our way of living. Eggs, right now, I went to Cub Foods. Eggs, large eggs, a dozen cost $3.29. A dozen eggs. That used to cost 99 cents over a year ago. Cost $3.29. A dozen of eggs. And no, it's not organic. You don't even want to know the organic price. You don't want to know the brown egg price. Because there's a lot of people who love brown eggs. I love brown eggs. You don't want to know the brown egg prices. Through the roof. Pound of ground beef usually costs around $4. That sucker is $5.99. And that's the cheapest. So everything is rising. And these people, ladies and gentlemen, are doing the most to keep it rising. You better believe it. You better believe it. Last but not least, I want to speak about Hunter Biden. The laptop repairman was on Sean Hannity's show. And I want you guys to see this. He had a viral interview, over 1 million hits. Take a look at this. Make sure you guys share.
Right now, as the criminal investigation into zero experience Hunter and his dad is heating up, Republican lawmakers, they're now looking for answers on his foreign business dealings with the family syndicate. They're now demanding that he turn over communications with the Obama White House. Now, writing in letters to the White House and National Archives, quote, Hunter Biden's connections throughout the Russian sphere of influence have now become especially relevant in the fast-moving and developing Russian war in Ukraine. And today, former federal prosecutor Brett Tolman claimed that if the investigation revolved around anyone other than Hunter Biden, they would have already been indicted. Now, but Hunter's corrupt business transactions extend far beyond Russia, as we have chronicled on this show, and apparently made over $1 million sitting on the board of Burisma, well over $1 million, him and his company took in. And he took money from, let's see, a Kazakhstan oligarch for a brand new sports car, and a Russian oligarch, the former First Lady of Moscow, that's $3.5 million, and a $100,000 shopping spree with a Chinese national, and then, of course, millions and millions of dollars in other business deals with connections to the CCP and also Chinese intelligence and the $1.5 billion deal with the Bank of China. Now, despite mountains of evidence to the contrary, Biden lied about all of this repeatedly, claiming again and again and again that he and his son never at one point ever discussed his foreign business dealings, and he never profited from his business dealings in China. Take a look.
My son has not made money in terms of this thing about, what are you talking about, China. I have not had, the only guy made money from China is this guy. He's the only one. Nobody else has made money from China.
Joey was lying, and when pushed on the issue during yesterday's White House briefings, well, the communications director, Kate Bedingfield, doubled down on Biden's lies. Wow, what a shocker. Take a look.
We absolutely stand by the president's comment, and I would point you to the reporting on this, which referenced statements that we made at the time that we gave to the Washington Post, who worked on this story. But as you know, I don't speak for Hunter Biden, so there's not more I can say on that.
With reaction, the man that turned Hunter's laptop over to the FBI and law enforcement, John Paul Mac Isaac, is with us, and Fox News contributor Jason Chaffetz. John Paul, you put everything on the line here. You were given a laptop. You see information in the course of recovering what's on the laptop that is concerning to you in terms of the legal aspect of it. All of a sudden, the laptop's never picked up. You hand it over to the FBI, and your life's been nothing but a living hell as a result of it. Tell us what your life has been like since you did this.
Well, once the story was out and my name was leaked to the public, it's been a matter of, at first, running and hiding. Now it's trying to just rebuild my life and do it in a manner that's not restricted by public opinion of me being involved in a Russian disinformation campaign.
Yeah, but why did you have to close down your shop? This was your business.
Well, initially the media did a good job of blocking the story, so customers were still coming in, but they didn't understand the police presence or why there was feces and rotten vegetables thrown at the shop. So eventually it got out and people stopped coming in for service. People started coming in without computers, and I could only imagine that they were there to do me harm. So by the end of November, or by the end of October, I had made the decision, and by November 2nd, I closed the shop.
You know, there's now Miranda Devine's book, The Laptop from Hell. What specifically alarmed you that there might be something illegal on that laptop specifically? I don't know that you've ever answered that question.
Well, I saw a lot of things that were embarrassing that somebody would definitely not want to make to the tabloids. I saw a lot of financial records that showed a lot of foreign money and a lot of money, like a lot of money. And then there was some other documents that I thought were kind of strange. Blue Star Strategies sending White House briefings about Ukraine and the vice president's travel schedule to a private Ukrainian citizen. And the national security ramifications alone were disturbing. And I felt that this was definitely something that had to be taken to the FBI.
And you also saw illegal activity, for example, the picture of Hunter Biden with the crack pipe. That's illegal activity. Pictures of a sexual nature. Were you concerned about the age of the people in the pictures?
No, I didn't really focus my attention on what was salacious on the laptop. My bigger concern was the security of the nation, the criminality that had potentially taken place, and that could happen again if not investigated properly.
You know, Jason, it was authenticated because apparently Hunter's lawyers came back months later asking for Hunter's laptop back. You would think that would have been the defining moment where the media would have realized this thing is real. What's your take on all of it?
Well, first of all, John, I hope he understands there are millions of people who are appreciative, and I hope he's buoyed up despite all the stuff that he's taken in his personal life, There are those of us that care about law and order and justice, and it takes people like you stepping up. So thank you for doing that. I wish the criminal justice system, though, in this country would take it seriously. It's one thing. We know that the Washington Post and the New York Times and MSNBC, we know they're in the pocket of the Democrats and that they'll do anything and everything to get their people elected. But we don't have the U.S. attorneys moving the way they should. Where's the IRS in a lot of this? Where's the Foreign Intelligence Services? How come Adam Schiff still has a security clearance? How come Eric Swalwell still has a security clearance and sits on the Intel Committee? I could go on and on and on. We didn't even mention Romania and the $100,000 that went into Joe Biden's grandkids from the former director of the FBI, Louis Freeh. They're in Mexico and providing access. There's so much, but John was right. He saw something was wrong. He provided it to the authorities, but the authorities are letting him down and letting the rest of the country down by not pursuing and putting this guy in handcuffs.
Yeah, I mean, it really is unbelievable. John Paul Mac Isaac, I want to echo Jason's comments. I'm so sorry that this has impacted your life regularly. It's amazing that Democrats supposedly praise whistleblowers, even hearsay whistleblowers, and yet you did the right thing and you've been harmed because of it. Thank you for all you've done for your country, and we wish you the very best, and thanks for being with us tonight, Jason. Thank you.
Absolutely. That laptop repairman, his life has been ruined. It has been ruined. Because he did the right thing. It has been ruined. Democrats, ladies and gentlemen, they don't play fair. Like I said, they play the emotional game. They know that Mr. Goody Two-Shoes, which is most Republicans out there, have a thought process that is, how can I say, genuine and good. They know that most of the time you're not thinking about trying to get over on somebody. The liberal, on the other hand, no rules. They will try to get over on you. They punished a repairman because he did his job. That's it. They punished him. Evil Democrats were in there threatening him. They want to kill him. His life is in danger. All because he decided to do the right thing. A lot of times when we see people like this suffering and we don't stand up, we don't help the person, it will deter others from doing the right thing. Now, this laptop repairman, when he first, had the laptop, he put it out, he was getting hell for it. Conservatives came to his aid. They donated to him. They helped. They supported. Now it's to the point where he can't even function. So politics, dealing with the liberal left, dealing with the Biden crime family, the Clinton crime family, takes a toll on you. It certainly does. Any other person who is not in the Biden crime family or politically well connected, I should say, would have already been in cuffs, already had the book thrown at him. But you can see, if you're politically connected, you come from an affluent family, the laws and rules are different for you. And that should be a message for everybody out there. We don't like it, but that's the way it is. Ain't that a bitch? Ain't that? Ladies and gentlemen, that is our show. That is our show for tonight. I want to thank everybody and their mama's mama for coming on in here, hanging out with your boy. I want to thank everybody who took our challenge here. Shout out to Jerome Glass for starting off the challenge. I want to thank everybody for hitting that like button, sharing, and donating. I'll be on tomorrow with our good friend Anthony Allen. Weekend Rumble shall continue. And you know we about to get it in. I got a whole bunch to ask Anthony Allen. And I got some brand new clips that are absolutely fire. Fire. Yeah. Clips that are going to be real fire. So make sure you come and hang out with us. It's going to be a really good conversation. It's going to be a really good time. And as you guys know, Anthony Allen, he going to bring the commentary in the flames. So make sure you set your time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Come hang out with us. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you guys tomorrow with another edition of Conservative Nation. You guys take care. Love ya and good night.
King Medic, turn me up.